active communication to us in Scripture for our true knowledge about God. Set this aside. Okay. Here we go. I would like you to write these down. These are the attributes of God that we're going to look at tonight. We have some more for tomorrow. These are the ones that speak to his character. Aseity. Aseity? What's the meaning of that? That's a great question, and we are going to answer that tonight. Here's what I want you to do. I just want you to write down these terms, and then as we discuss them, as we talk through them, next to them in your margin, put the notes that are going to help you to understand what they mean. And as we begin this, I am going to pull out this illustration again, because tonight, right now, this is some heavy lifting. Kevin has already showed us. I mean, one word here, I've never heard what that is before in your life. A lot of this might be new material. A lot of it might be very confusing. Understand that is what we're doing right now, is you're picking up the weight and you're starting to curl it. And it might be heavy at first, but the more that we look at this, the more that you seek to understand it, the easier it becomes. And remember, the whole time, all along, we are approaching the person of who God is. And we are not concocting this out of new scientific definitions. Everything we're going to look at tonight is what the church has historically confessed as being the orthodox views, the necessary views to call yourself a Christian or a biblical Christian, if I need to be more specific in our world today. So, we're going to begin with omnipresence and eternality. For a definition, I have these two linked together because they are related with one another. Before I give a definition, what is somebody, if you can give me what you think or what you have heard omnipresence to mean? God is everywhere, all around. Okay? There is a way to conceive of this which will perhaps be one which you have thought before. It's probably the default one to think of. I have a plate in front of me here. Imagine if I could confess that God in His omnipresence is everywhere. Is God in this plate? Yes or no? All right, we've got a little debate going on here. If God is everywhere, is God in this plate? Do I have a plate of God? All right, have I got your wheels turning a little bit here? Because this actually is it's a common misconception when we say omnipresence. We think God is everywhere. That means God's right next to me. Or that means that God's, if He could be, He's right here in this plate. He's right here on this table, right? He's right here in this room. Rather than saying that God is being physically located in all places, instead, the proper definition for omnipresence is saying that God has no limitations placed upon Him with regard to space, with regard to access. So, is God accessible on the far side of the sea? Yes, He is. Does God have access to somebody on the far side of the sea? Yes. Does God have access to somebody on the moon? Yes. Or in the deepest depths of the ocean? Yes. There is no place where God is limited in terms of His spatial access. Does that make sense? This gets a little bit abused because we'll use it to say God is right here. And we will actually approach this pantheistic view. Do you remember pantheism? That God is in all and God is around all? As we begin to use this definition to say that God is somehow physically located next to me because he is omnipresent, we are approaching a different kind of worldview in that. So I'm telling you this evening, the correct understanding for God's omnipresence is defining it as there being no limitation placed upon God in terms of his access regarding space. Question?
But you're not telling you will not confine him to a place. Or
That yes, we're looking at it not from a aspect of where God is. We're looking at it as an aspect of where or if God could not be somewhere.
so when we are in service, or when we
That's not to say he is in here. That's to say he, if he chose to be, is here.
so when people say, "Oh, I really feel God's presence,"
Mm-hmm.
is that correct?
That may be correct, but what I'm saying is we're not using omnipresence to say that's correct. That may be correct, but that's not necessarily what omnipresence is defining for us. Omnipresence is defining for us not something that we are attaining to God, but it's describing something about the nature of who God is. God is not limited spatially. Okay? Look with me at the passage that we began our night with, Psalm 139. Everybody flip to Psalm 139. Is everybody there? Psalm 139? I'd like you to look with me starting in verse 7. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. Even the darkness, right? Even if the darkness hides me, the light becomes night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, the darkness as light to you. This is a proof text. It's a great example that we can turn to understand this correct understanding of omnipresence. There is nothing that restricts God in his ability to access anything in the universe. Does everybody understand?
So explain this plate. Now you finished with the plate?
I'm finished with the plate. That's right, yes. Do we have a plate of God here? No. The answer is omnipresence is not telling us that we have a plate of God. Is
But if God needed to,
okay.
Use that plate. It's good.
If God wanted to be here, he would be here. Because what we're doing is we're not defining God in reference to us, something around us. We're defining God in reference to his nature, who he is. And he is not limited by his nature spatially, right? Height, depth, length, width, east, west. He has access everywhere.